I want to talk about saving money on food today. I've been searching for many things that are popular online and what's going on with people. What are people's concerns? And this is one of them that's popping up is the cost of inflation on food and everything going up. So it's something very difficult. And some of these things I'm talking about today seem very simple. But one thing I'm realizing is that a lot of people don't follow these practices. And I figured I would just say them as some of them just sound almost ridiculous. But let's get in, like taking fridge inventory. Duh. Seems like a lot of people would, but me saying duh, I feel like, well, doesn't everybody? Well, they don't. So one of the things I do on the weekends, I have Sunday as my chore day, and I go through everything. I have on my notes to go through my fridge and check out what it is that I have in inventory. So leftovers, right? Right now I have some fresh mozzarella cheese. I just have a little stick of it, right? Little tiny portion. I also have some cauliflower, maybe about a half a bowl worth. I've got some marinara sauce, and then I start putting these two together saying, hey, maybe I can stick these in the air fryer and create a little lunch or a dinner. So one of the things I find, just like a freezer, is when you pack a bunch of food in the freezer, you forget, everything starts to get set in the back or things fall down. You don't even know what's in there after about a couple of weeks, especially when you go to the magnitude that I do. Well, I found it's the same with my refrigerator. I've got two refrigerators actually, and it's good to go in there, check out the racks, the drawers on the bottom. Sometimes things will leak. I had fish sauce in mine, which was pretty disgusting. Went down and filled up where my grapes and cherries. In fact, I just threw away a whole, oh my goodness, guys, probably about, I'd say 10 pounds of fruit, blueberries, cherries, grapes. It was ridiculous. It sucked. But as I went through my inventory, that's what I found was a mess to clean up. But what happens is when I want to save money on food, I could take that inventory that I have, some of those leftovers, and I could design some meals. This also lets me know about a grocery list of what I need to buy. I know what I have for the whole week. Now when I go to the grocery store, I can complement the leftovers and things that I have sitting inside my refrigerator. A lot of my stuff too is like arugula, tomatoes, onions. I've got a roasted garlic and stuff right now, so I can pair a lot of things up. My next note is to create a weekly menu. And the note right underneath that is use your family, right? To create a menu. Get your kids together and figure out what are things that you guys like to eat. For me, it's one of our favorite cheap meals. We're talking about saving money on food here. Is just regular canned Campbell's cream of mushroom. We'll add in a can of tuna, and then we'll sprinkle some cheddar cheese on that, and we'll put that, either eat it like a soup, like a clam chowder, or we'll put it on top of some bread. Lately, we've been trying to eat a lot more keto, paleo style to lose some weight. But yeah, those are some of the things that me and my kids get together with. And I've said this before on my show where I do the bean cheese tostadas. It's basically just fried corn tortillas with refried beans, cheese, and iceberg lettuce. That's it. For some reason, the flavor, the kids are like, please, can we make this again? It's funny. So yeah, you got your fridge inventory out of the way. You want to create that weekly menu, because I think that's one of the things that gets people is they're just like, well, what do I make for dinner today? What I do is I create a 7-day menu. And then if I'm not feeling something that day, right, the kids, we can always alternate things out. So I'll tell the kids, hey, this is what we got going on. Sometimes things vary. You'll buy some cheap, like fresh mozzarella or something, or meats rather, or vegetables, like say some asparagus or I don't know, some burger. You have it in the fridge. It's going to turn if you don't cook it within the next 3 days. So you kind of have to put that one up front and then maybe eat the simpler foods later, right? Something that's going to spoil. But yeah, my kids will switch things around. When it's in the middle of summer, it's hot and stuff like that. Sometimes you don't feel like eating, a big giant burger, something. Maybe you want some fish, something light. So it gives us the option to kind of move things around. So I guess to finish on that, 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we'll just kind of sit down and we'll go through a whole bunch of different varieties of things. And we're taking that inventory that we have in the fridge, right? So that we don't waste anything. Which is also going to move us into I'm creating your menu. This is how you find out what you're going to buy at the grocery store. If you're going once a week like I do, if you create that menu in advance, I guess is what I'm saying, you can kind of look and say, oh, bean, cheese, tostadas. We need beans, we need cheese, we need tostadas, and we need lettuce, right? Unless you've been prepping out there and getting yourself a good 2 months to 3 months supply of food, right, as a food bank in case of any emergencies like I've been doing, you've already got most of the staples there, right? But so what we'll do is we'll take a look at that menu, and I'll see all the different ingredients I need. Say I had a cauliflower, some ketchup, whatever, and I'll grocery shop accordingly just for that. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I think a lot of people will go out and they'll just buy random stuff, right? And then remember we were talking about things hidden in the fridge and then they start to spoil? Well, that's why we're not using the things that we bought, right? We thought maybe you stick to the plan, come up with a menu for 7 days. When you grocery shop, say on Monday or Friday, whatever it is, get that 7 days in advance and you have the menu down. It's like a restaurant, guys. It goes seamless. And then you don't have to think about everything, right? Since there's a word on time consumption, which I have here. I remember my ex-wife saying that it took her an hour and a half, 2 hours to cook dinner. She was exhausted, right? I come home from work working on doing roofing construction, and I was like, wow. She didn't feel like cooking dinner one time. And she says, yeah, yesterday it took me an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I sat there. I remember always just looking, saying, that's interesting. If we take an hour, we've talked about this before on the show. If we take an hour, that's not even an hour and a half, 2 hours, just 1 hour for dinner every single day that's going to take you to cook these meals times 7. That's almost a full 8 hours day of work. I've talked about time management before, and I just wanted to mention this here again. I think, and the reason I am to save money on food is sometimes I guess it's a lot of work for people. Like, I just don't feel like pulling out the pots and pans and cleaning everything, even though we have such things as one-pot meals and meal prepping where you can cook a lot of different stuff, right? Like I just did yesterday. I made a cheese sauce, which consists of a little bit of flour, some milk, some butter. You melt that all together. Make like a roux, I guess it's called. Pour your milk, about a cup of milk in there. Add shredded cheese and salt and pepper, and you mix that up, and it makes a homemade creamy cheese sauce instead of that Velveeta weird stuff that looks like plastic, right? And then I cook some burger right after that in the exact same pan. I have some Pyrex bowls. I dump my cheese sauce inside of the bowl, and then set that aside, and a glass Pyrex bowl too, so that I can heat it back up when I need it, and also less use of plastic. And then I cooked the burger, and then I had some leftover potatoes that I cooked. I cook them whole in the skins, right? You could put them in your thermal cooker, or you can just boil them, just a whole potato. Take those and I sliced them all up for dinner into large like potato wedges, and then I put burger over the potatoes and then poured some cheese sauce over those, right? That was one of the parts of dinner last night. Well, I got a whole bunch of hamburger. I have those potatoes left over from 3-4 days ago. What's cool about the pre-cooked potatoes, guys, is where I'm going off of this whole thing, is that I'll stick them in my air fryer and literally we're just looking to toast them. They're already cooked. If you're going to do hash browns, any of you guys who do hash browns when they're from scratch, when they're green, it takes like an hour, right, before those things are even ready, and you got to get multiple frying pans depending on how many people you got to feed. Whereas when they're already cooked with the skin on them, you grate them, the skin just starts peeling right off the grater, and you get the fresh potato inside. You just scorch them really and toast them, and then do your eggs and bacon or whatever you're eating, and you have breakfast or dinner like within minutes. So all for today, that was last night's dinner, right? Was the potato wedges with the burger and the cheese sauce. Today we're going to have that cauliflower I was talking about. I got some broccoli. I've got some mushrooms and things. We're going to air fry or steam those. We're going to put those in a plate, and guess what? We're going to pour some of that cheese sauce on top. And then we could take those tacos and we could actually make the burger, and we could actually maybe fry up a taco or two, or do something creative with the leftover burger that we had. So taking inventory of what you have in your fridge, meal prep, and getting all that stuff going gets you that time so that you don't have to work that hard. Literally, guys, I can cook dinner tonight in probably about 10 minutes, right? So going back on that hour thing, people just want to go out and buy food because they're working all day, right? And I don't blame them. You're working an 8, 9, 10-hour day. Maybe if you're like me, 10, 12, maybe even 13 hours, right? You're exhausted. But that's why we get some meal prep going so that we can save money. One of the tricks I do too, guys, is I actually have a glass mason jar in the back of my truck. And I also carry some boxed milk, say some almond milk or coconut milk. And I also have my plant-based proteins. And if like my lunch goes bad, which I didn't even grab today. Oh my goodness, I didn't grab my lunch, guys. That sucks. Like today, right? I just realized. But yeah, I can take that jar and I can fill it up full of, halfway full of some almond milk or coconut milk, dump in a couple spoonfuls of some chocolate, protein powder, some peanut powder, shake it all up. It's not the best and it's warm, but hey, if I forgot my lunch or something happens, say, I've had it once in my truck where my solar fridge, the glass containers hit together and they actually broke, right? And I didn't have anything but broken glass. So went over to my trusty old backup and made something. So what I do, reason why I'm saying this too, is that maybe you get sick or maybe you get just tired or you're having one of those bad days, your boss was being a butthead. You can get home and I have such things as corned beef and cabbage with potatoes and frozen. Pull that out, stick it in a jar of water, or a container of water, thaw it out, and just put it in the microwave, and you got yourself some fast food. At least it's not like frozen chicken pot pies and frozen TV dinners, right? Even though I do have a couple of like chicken pot pies, some frozen egg rolls and things, just for, every once in a while we want some junk food, but you can make your own junk food. At least it's healthy, it's fast, and you have it as a backup, right? Or maybe you burn dinner, right? You always have something to replace it with. Because those frozen foods, those TV dinners, that's where a lot of people's money's going. It's going towards food. Towards fast foods, ordering pizzas. Guys, I'm in San Diego, California right now in this August 2022, this fell year of our whatever we want to call it. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, it's like $50 for like two medium pizzas. This is ridiculous. So a lot of your money is going towards food. It doesn't have to be that way. Your health is deteriorating because of a lot of this food. Guys, everything in the middle of the grocery store, pretty much almost everything, I'd say a conception of some canned vegetables and stuff like that, maybe some canned meats. All that stuff in the middle is horrible for you. You're losing your health, right? Everything healthy usually is on the side. The thing that gets me is that bread, Wonder Bread and stuff, just sits on the shelf with no refrigeration for weeks. It's just insane. So yeah, you're losing your health, you're losing your money, and a lot of you guys are losing your time. And you could be doing a lot with that time, right? We're having an economic uncertainty right now. You need to start thinking, why not help yourself, give yourself the gift of doing some meal prep, making a whole menu, save some money, and save time by utilizing some machinery such as an air fryer, a pressure cooker, a thermal cookware. All of this stuff I've already talked about in the past. Buy these machineries. These are things that you can literally automate in your life. I mean, they got stuff where you can throw rice, chicken broth, some vegetables, literally pressure cook it, and you've got a fresh cooked dinner in like 20 minutes. And you just push a button, right? So guys, I hope that helped. I want to talk about next week's show or tomorrow's show on maybe how to stop living paycheck to paycheck, right? And I also have on my notes here, design your life out of economic uncertainty. This is one of my big ones I've been thinking about, guys. There's a lot of big changes in the world right now. We have, I think, a financial warfare going on between United States and the BRICS, China and Russia and Brazil and India. All these people are grouping up, trying to create their own their own currency away from the U.S. dollar. And we have a lot of big changes of things happening that a lot of people just aren't aware of. And just like saving the money on the food, I think we need to save money on our lives and make some switches. If you're still here and followed this show all the way to the end, let me know what you guys want to hear about. I'm just talking about things that I'm interested in and things that I can find, such as a lot of you guys are interested in saving money on food. It's a big problem. I think they said 62% of you people are worried about a recession. And if you're still here and haven't hung up the phone yet, I've been screaming recession since 2019. There was a lot of things indicating that we were heading in that direction. They just kept kicking the can down the road. And who knows, I think we might be in the area where they can't kick it anymore. And we need to do such things as simple living, growing your own food, learning how to cook your own food and strategically, strategize your life so that you're not being raped by inflation and all this craziness that's happening. So, guys, that's all I have to say today. I've got to get to work. We'll see you guys on the next show. So thanks for watching.